everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Carol here at Oak House Journals. I'm going to do a Margarete Miller collage. The collage I'm going to do today is number 31. I've got my prompt pieces here and these are the prompts. The first one is an architectural element. Well, I've gone with this beautiful doll's house and it's got numerous architectural elements on here. As you can see, it's got this beautiful detailed work at the bottom of each of these towers. It's got this support work down here at the bottom and these beautiful windows. So lots of architectural elements that are evident on here. Stained paper. Well, I've got various pieces here, not sure what I'm going to use. It's all tissue paper. Now I've got this piece, which is quite a large piece. I wouldn't use it all. I would probably only use a portion from here. I've picked this piece because it's got a blue in it which would pick up the roof, so I might use that. I've also got these other pieces. Now I've got this piece which I'm not too convinced that I would use, so let's make a decision on that and put it away straight away. And then I've got these various scraps here of quite a nice greeny browny colour which I could piece together. That would more or less pick up the browny tones in here on the main part of the doll's house, and it has got a slight hint of green. I think it was frayed burlap Distress Oxide Ink that I used on here. The next prompt is, I've lost my prompts here, $1 a toy. Well, I've chosen this lovely little image of a rag doll. Something in vibrant red. I've got a small image of a phoenix. The next prompt is something imaginary. Well, I've gone for this creature here. Now this is a Japanese and a Chinese mythological beast which is called a Kirin, K-I-R-I-N, and it is apparently the guardian of hope, so I'm going to be using that. The bonus, a piece from a colouring book or a piece of a colouring book. So I've got this fairies colouring book here and I thought that I would use this page here, this one. Now, not this image, I'm going to use the reverse, which is this one. So it still is part of a colouring book, and obviously I'm not going to be using all of that. I'm just going to be using a portion of it on my piece today. So the first thing I'm going to do is to put my prompts up there, as I always do. I'm going to go away and do some fussy cutting. I'm not going to fussy cut that, but I am going to fussy cut the Kirin. I'm going to fussy cut my phoenix, which is my pop of vibrant red, and I'm going to fussy cut my ragdoll. So I'll be back when those are done. So my little pieces are all cut out now, and this piece I'm going to trim off across here. Trim down this edge as well. Okay, so we've got that piece cut out, and it just gives me a little bit of the green from the base. Have her something like that on there. She will go off my working area, but as you know, I never mind about that. Have the Kirin overlapping her slightly, but I want its head really to be differentiated by that door, so I need to drop that down a little bit, and I'm actually going to drop it down enough so that that door handle there, which is quite distracting, is going to be hidden as well, and that way you are drawn to the Kirin's head. Leaves me with an edge there which isn't ideal. I can move her up a little bit like that. Yes, I'm liking that, and I'm still hiding that doorknob, so that's more or less how it's going to have to go, like that. So its antlers will be going on to her shoulder, just slightly overlapping her dress a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is trim down these edges a little bit more on either side. I'm going to go with that, so I'm going to put a bit of glue behind it. So my phoenix, I thought that I would have maybe up there on one of the windows or the turrets. So I'm going to glue that in place. I need to do something with this. I thought I could do something like that. I'm going to trim away about that much on either side of my frame. So I've just trimmed this so that I've got about 5 millimeters, half a centimetre on either side, so that I can create a frame for this, and that would still leave me enough room around to use my stained paper. But I am wondering whether to cut this down there and move this down the bottom here and use that as a frame, a staggered frame or a broken frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a piece of white cardstock in here to see if I can see what it will look like if I do that. So it will stop there and I will have this going down the side. So that's more or less what it will look like on the left hand side, which will up here will give me more of my stained paper showing. Sorry, I'm out of frame there for you everybody. I was in the zone, so not really paying attention. So yes, that gives me an idea of what this side will look like. And then if I take that out and just drop this down like this, then I will get an impression of what it would look like on this side at the bottom. So it gives my Kirin something to be anchored to. And if I put my paper in here like that, I get an idea of what it'll look like in this bottom corner. So yes, I'm going to do that. Just trim this so that the border here is equal all the way round at half a centimetre. So let's pop her down here like that. This was going to be pulled in quite a bit, and this piece I'm going to just pop in here like that, and actually it's too wide, which I didn't pay attention to. Don't like that gap up there. Thinking that might be the only way to do this, and pull this in like that, and I could make use of this little portion under here, under the Kirin, the main Kirin's body, to bridge that gap up there. I need to glue behind here. And then this little piece I'm going to patch up in here. Not really ideal, but I'm hoping it won't be too noticeable. And now I need to decide what I'm going to use for behind. I could go with something like this and have it very soft in the background by using the reverse. But I'm picking up that, which I don't like. I think if I use it that way round, it'll be too bold. And again, I'm going off the edge there, so definitely not that piece. So let's look at these pieces. This piece is actually a perfect size. Leaves me with a gap here and here. And that piece could go in there. I'm liking that splodge there, which is almost picking up that colour on her hair. I'm going to trim my pieces about here. So let's bring in the guillotine. Bring out my glue book. So here we go everybody, this is my finished piece for this week, which is week 31. Going through the prompts very quickly, an architectural element, well I've got oodles of architectural elements in this French Chateau doll's house in the background here. Stained paper, well I went with the Distress Oxide stained tissue paper, a doll or a toy, my fussy cut ragdoll there. Something in vibrant red, well that was my phoenix who sat on the ledge underneath these tall windows here. Something imaginary, well this mythological creature in Japan and China known as the Kirin. And finally, bonus, a piece of a colouring book. Well, I used both pieces of my colouring book to create a frame to fit round my image. So there we go everybody, that's my finished piece for this week. I hope you enjoyed seeing it come together, and I hope you'll join me for week 32 of this year-long challenge being hosted by Margarete Miller. So until next week everybody, have a lovely time, happy crafting, bye bye from me, bye bye now.